Coming up next on Flowing into Awareness with Master Intuitive Anatara. Altered states of consciousness. What are altered states of consciousness? How do we work with them? How do we alter them? This and more coming up next here on YHTV. This week's episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Souza Ma, your host for this program. And today we're speaking of altered states of consciousness. And with us is the beautiful Anatara. Hello, Anatara.
Hello there. I've been
Oh.
contemplating what an altered state is as I was listening to you introduce me.
Now you
And
see
I was,
me, now you don't. Or
right.
now I see you and now I don't see you.
Yeah, exactly. What am I working, looking at? What am I doing? What are my senses telling me about something? What is my mind telling me about something? What is it? We could even start by saying, what is a state of consciousness?
Oh my
And
God,
then
that would be so deep.
and then if it's altered, what does that mean?
As I said, now you see me, now you don't.
So let's simplify this a bit. States of consciousness. We regularly surf through so many different kinds of consciousness, probably even in a nanosecond. We could have many, many varied interactions with what we call consciousness. It's an ever-changing, ever-flowing, ever-expanding and contracting and morphing thing, our consciousness. So for each of us, we will have what we feel is our normal state of consciousness. Right now, I feel like Anatara. I feel like I'm speaking with you, Christina, and we're talking about the kind of thing that we always talk about. And I recognize the way my skin feels and what I'm hearing. And I recognize the way my mind and my super entity is speaking through my mind and then through my body. So right now I feel like Anatara, one kind of Anatara. But if I were to go outside and sit quietly in the sunshine and close my eyes as the sun fell on my face, I would move into a different kind of consciousness. It would be altered. It would simply just be different than the one I'm feeling and perceiving right now. I might be a little bit more dreamy. I might be able to hear from other entities more. There could be the birds speaking to me, the wind speaking to me, the angels speaking to me. I could be hearing from my heart rather than from my mind. This would be a different state of consciousness, and in that way altered from what I perceive or think of as being my normal state of consciousness. So who we are, how we perceive things, how we interact with all of our physical senses, emotional, mental, and higher consciousness sort of senses. These are the things that make us move between states of consciousness, between altered states of consciousness, altered only because they're different than the one we were feeling the moment before. Many people will think that a truly altered state of consciousness happens only because they've used a drug or they've had some alcohol, or that something so profoundly emotionally impactful has happened, that it has snapped them into a different state. I like to see the continuum more. I like to understand my own continuum. I like to observe what it is that seems to be the most predominant in my consciousness about who I am in this moment, what I'm hearing in this moment, what I'm doing in this moment. But I always want to feel that that is not a fixed thing, that it is something that is flowing, mutable, changeable, ever open to the next moment of consciousness. So I think, as in most things that you and I discuss, the way that we perceive our consciousness can become very fixed. I need to be in a certain frame of mind in order to work with this business partner. Or when I'm speaking to these kids that I know, I let a different kind of consciousness take precedence and become more animated. That's fine. Those are the skills that we have as human individuals to work with the way we think and the way we know and who we are. And what I am finding is the most valuable in all of this is to be aware that we can be fully present no matter what our form or state of consciousness is. In other words, as we move between those conscious states, as we alter our norm into something else or our something else into another norm, there is a thread of presence that is always there. And that thread of presence is what I would call perhaps the most important key to our state of consciousness. If that presence is consistent, it may sometimes be a little bit more in the background or maybe more in the foreground, depending on whether we're meditating or whether we're at a big concert and celebrating. But that presence can always exist in and around and through all of the alterations that we play with in our consciousness. And as I talk about flexibility in so many ways, this form of flexibility is critical. It's vital. It's so valuable to understand that we can be present, sort of with our core or with our center or with our very, very essence, as the state of consciousness that we are expressing around it becomes alters itself, or is altered by us.
Wow. Mm. Well, that's very interesting. The way you've shared this, Anatara, because as you were speaking, I think for myself, I don't even realize that those are altered states of consciousness. It's not because I have an acting background, but just because of life. That you're right. We some of us, not everyone. The people who choose to, they'll morph depending on where they are. Interesting, because thoughts like etiquette, moments of playfulness, like etiquette with elders, playfulness with children, business is again etiquette. I've never considered those as states of consciousness, but you're absolutely right. They are how we choose to be with who we are with, or what environment that we're set upon. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, and I really love some of the words you've just used to describe what you're describing. I think the moment that I'm attempting to share here is that what if we really are allowed to see ourselves and see our states of consciousness in this fluid way, in this mutable, changing way? What if we are allowed to say to ourselves, you're okay. You're okay no matter what state of consciousness you're in. If you are in an angry mood, an angry mode, there's another state of consciousness layering itself upon all of your other states of consciousness. And if we become accustomed to seeing the tiny subtleties of how those levels change, then we become more informed about the mechanism that's at play in this human form, and we become more able, I'm noticing, to feel all of the other levels and areas of input that are
Mm.
available. I'm always talking about being aware of what's out there, using your intuition to see and to find and to be aware of the things you're not always thinking about. I'm always talking about using flexibility in all of these stages of being. And if we can be present and allow the alteration of a state of consciousness to proceed, whether it's imposed through taking something, or it's imposed because our mind is telling us something, or it's imposed because the day just burst into something beautiful. It doesn't matter. These are all subtleties of our consciousness, all subtleties being delivered to us from the state of all that is. We are just little moments of existence in the huge existence of the all that is. It is experimenting through what we perceive and what we demonstrate. And isn't it incredible for us to be able to say, oh, I'm seeing that too. It's not just you that's getting this. I'm getting it too.
Look out. Here it comes. Ready or not. Actually, it's always been there, right? It's really
Exactly.
what I'm hearing is also the awareness that you're bringing to our attention. The awareness that this exists within us.
Exactly.
Mm, lovely. Wow, that's a lot for all of you to chew on, including me. Oh my goodness. Well, Anatara, this is quite a moment. Yeah, I can feel myself bubbling up because it's like, wow, it's like all these different levels of states, really.
Precisely. And who knows what state you're going to land in.
Mm,
Just be present with wherever it takes you,
hmm
with everything. Just be present, be aware, see where it takes you. Notice it. You don't have to do anything else with it unless you really like it. You may want to celebrate it in
Ah,
some way, but you don't have to do anything with it. Nothing is required here
mhm,
except to be present. Be
mm,
present with the way you see yourself shift and change.
mm. Very nice. Very nice. Present moment. Like that. Ah, I have to take a breath to ground again now. Thank you so much, Anatara, for this wonderful moment in flowing into awareness. And of course, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today for these magnificent moments here at our new recording studio at YHTV. We hope to bring you more and more content and interact with you even more. Um, Please connect with Anatara through Twitter at Anatara, through Facebook, Master Intuitive, and of course through her website, anatara.ca. Anatara.ca. Again, we look forward to bringing more to you. Please share your thoughts and your comments simply by typing them into the comment box on our website or giving us a call at 818 Let's Talk. 818 Let's Talk. We would love to hear from you and be delighted on any topics or subjects that you'd like us to touch upon. Just write to us, call in to us, and we will definitely, pull your messages. And hey, if you leave your name and you want us to dedicate the show to you, we can do that too. Please continue to. We invite you to support us on iTunes and Twitter and Stitcher Radio. We are on quite a few different platforms, and we would love for you to like us or give us a comment on them, because just by doing that in the social media these days helps to put the word out to others out there. And this is our goal, is to help people find balance, on a global scale. And with your help, I think we can do so as a community. Thank you again for joining us. Until next time, namaste.